How to tell if someone doesn't like Taylor Swift. Don't worry, they'll tell you. There's a little joke because I know people who don't like Taylor like to shout it out at the top of the mountains for some reason, and I'm not here for it. So if you don't like Taylor Swift, this video is probably not for you. Why'd you click on it? Okay, moving on from that, we all know Taylor's new album is coming out in October and we're all very excited, and I went to buy the CD, the pre-release CD, because it came with a lovely necklace, and I was thinking, yeah, I want that. And I was too late, basically. Everything's sold out. Everything's always sold out. Everything's very expensive for merch, or it's just like limited stock, and it's gone. Sometimes you see things that are just like perfection for the song you like, your favorite album, and it's gone. Yeah, because there's so many of us. Anyway, I decided to make my own merch because I found this tote bag in Flying Tiger. Here is the kit, and as you can see, it's got some like autumnal vibes to it, and I realized it's actually iron-on stuff. It's not actually a painting kit. I don't know why. I didn't obviously look at it properly. I just grabbed it like I do with Tiger. If you don't know what Tiger is, they just sell like loads of little items that are quite cheap, so you kind of go in there and grab loads of things. But anyway, I was like, I'll use the tote bag, I'll paint on the tote bag myself, whatever. And I opened it up, and there's this horrible like stain on it. From what? Because I've never opened this before. I guess it's just maybe a rust stain. It also has this label of Flying Tiger on it. I don't want that on my Taylor Swift merch, thank you very much. I want to be genuine. I want to be, where'd you get that from? Did you get that from the website? I don't think we come up with that in the end, just forewarning. Subtle foreshadowing there, but yeah, let's make this as Taylor Swifty as we can. So I took the label off, and underneath was a rectangle. I don't know why'd they do that. I kind of actually forget about this rectangle, so we'll never go back to that. First of all, I'm trying to see what will make a mark on this. I'm trying to draw a circle. I don't know who said it, but somebody said if you can draw a perfect circle, then you're a genius. I think we can see here that I am not a genius. The evidence is very much to the contrary of that, but here we go. So if you have guessed what I'm drawing already, that is a 5-star point to you, because looking back at this now, I cannot. And if you haven't guessed, then take a look at what I'm doing. Duh, there's some squares, there's a circle, some shapes, different colored squares. Maybe you'll guess in a second. I am using the Artex acrylic, is it acrylic? Yeah, acrylic markers. And these are really, really nice for drawing on fabric, because they're kind of made for drawing on different varieties of materials. So this was quite fun to do. I did have a little bit of bleed through of the pens, because when I was using them and they weren't dried fully, they would kind of bleed into each other, which is not what I want here, because I really want sharp lines to obviously render this mirrorball, guys. Haha, that's what it is. Or disco ball if you're English. I think it's called a disco ball in English. In the UK we call it a disco ball. I'm not sure if we call it a mirror ball. I call it a mirror ball now, because I have been fully brainwashed by Taylor Swift, of course, which makes sense because she puts narcotics into all of her songs. That was like a little song pun. That's a lyric from one of her songs. Anyway, I realised that I have a very wonky mirror ball here, and I'm going in with acrylic gouache and trying to just round out this very wonky mirror ball. And I do get there in the end, but it takes a while because I'm laying down something flat. It's hard to look at it. I need to pick it up like on an easel or something, but because I'm recording it at this angle, I can't do that. So I kept looking at the camera's window and just seeing if I was getting it right, and standing up every now and then and just like trying to even it out. At this point, I was like, I've seriously underestimated how difficult it is to draw a mirror ball. And I thought it would be, I don't know why I thought this, because clearly it's quite a complex thing. I thought it'd be quite easy, and also to do something on material is completely different to doing it on paper. I had to get used to like the different grain and the different way the paint lays down, the different way it bleeds into each other, and just as well the fabric kept like absorbing the white at points. So if I was doing a highlight, it would just like disappear. So I had to have to go back and take the sketchbook that's underneath it out and wipe that excess paint away, and then dry it off, and then proceed to paint on top. And then it was, actually holding the color a little bit better. This was so difficult. I was like, this will be like fun, like paint by numbers kind of thing, because I had a lot of references. It was so difficult, but it was fun, and I really, really love this song. If you don't know the song, it's called Mirrorball, and you can check it out. It's on the Folklore album. But basically, it's just about how she tries everything to this person's attention, and she's always needing to be this persona for them to love her. And I just really like it. I really like the lyrics, and maybe that's not her intention from the lyrics. I don't know. Maybe I've misinterpreted it, but my favourite lyric is that she says, "I've never been a natural, all I do is try, try, try." And I think that's so true for any artist, because I mean, everyone can be born with a certain amount of talent, but I know that we all have to keep practicing to perfect our talent. And I feel like some people are naturally super gifted, of course, but most of us, we have to keep trying and trying and trying to become better artists. And even in this painting here, I have to keep trying and trying and trying to be able to paint this mirror ball, because it's very difficult. And I think you get that a lot with artists. People just say, "Oh my God, I wish I could draw," or "Oh my gosh, you're so talented, well done." And it's like, well, no, you haven't seen how much I've worked to get to this stage. It's not just like, "Oh, I wish I could do that." It's work. I feel like anybody could draw, or anyone could be an artist. Obviously, you have to have a passion for it, so that is the difference. But it is a lot of work, and I feel like, to a certain degree, it's quite insulting to be like, "Wow, I wish I could draw." It's like, well, go do it then, But often you don't want to say that to someone, because they're just being nice. They're just being nice, so you don't want to be like, "Actually, is it taking a lot of work to get to this point?" They're just giving you a compliment. Calm down. But yeah, it's a little bit grating sometimes, because it kind of takes away from all your effort. Anyway, I realised that I wanted that lyric around the mirror ball, and I was like, how am I going to do this? Because I am a graphic designer. I'm a professional graphic designer by day, guys. So I wanted some nice typography. And in the end, I don't think we get that. I tried to get it to look nice. I started out with this black acrylic gouache. And what I don't take into account here, because I'm used to drawing on paper, is that it will bleed, and it does bleed. And so the words come out a little bit fuzzy. I decided what I'm going to do is just write out the lyric quickly, so I could see like how much space it's going to take up, and then I'll go over it again with the black to just sort of refine it. And also, if I don't use too much paint in my brush, it doesn't bleed as much. So I was thinking, if I just do this slowly, it will work out better. As you can see, the first bit of this lyric, the "I've" is bleeding. It looks very blurry, and that's not what we want. We don't want a blurry lyric, guys. So I had to think what to do here, and in the end I decided to mix a light blue as close to the tote bag color as I could. And obviously I'm never going to get that perfect color, because also gouache tends to dry differently than what you see when it's wet. So it's very hard to get like a perfect colour match. So what I did is, yeah, I mixed as close as I could to that colour, and I went round the words trying to just sharpen them up. And I think it works. I went in like slowly dotting, and then I realised I just want to really carve out these words with this paint, if that makes sense. And yeah, I think it does look a lot better because you can see clearly what it says and they're very sharp. But then we're left with this kind of weird off colour, light mint colour, we may say. It's a little joke for anyone who's up to date with the new album. It's mint and orange are the colours. But yeah, it's kind of a minty bag, which is weird because I thought it was going to be white, and then I got it and I brought it out and it's mint. So that's kind of a serendipitous thing. Anyway, going around these words took a while. I kept having to like clear them up because as I said before, the bag kind of just soaks up the colour. But yeah, I think it worked out fine. There is like a weird misting of colour behind these words. So I decided to lean into that and do some sparkles and do like a sort of glowy orby effect, I guess, around the mirror ball. In the end, it dried a bit strange, so some of the bits are a bit whiter than the blue. I think it's a cool effect because it could look like the sky, it could be cloudy, like this weird mystical thing around the mirror ball. But I think I might go back in and make it white. So I might change that in the future. If you see on my Instagram that it looks different, that's why. But here we go, just sharpening up the words. These are all the final details, and so this is the final bag. This bag does not go with this outfit really, but meh, I was going out and I wanted to show you guys. So let's just look at these shots of the bag. This is the final bag, and I hope that you guys liked it. If you did, let me know down below and give me a thumbs up. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!